So, in the region, India is the preferred partner for US in terms of both military and trade relations. So, this is especially very concerning for Pakistan because in the context of regional peace, defense requirements can be met in terms of any disruption in the world. Networks will be developed. So, if we look at Quad is something that is a cooperation between United States, Japan, India and Australia. I think Pakistan needs to diversify its interest. The arc that is developing, which can be very efficient in terms of safeguarding, I think it will be very challenging for India to make sure that this does not get out of hands. But and although this will give opportunity for Indian scientists and Indian technologies to be deployed in UAE. So, it is also Pakistan's nuclear capability is a deterrence, and this is something which basically is the characteristics of the Indian foreign policy. This new agreement between the US and India on security of supply agreement, SOSA, is basically an agreement where US has ensured its supply chain from Indian continent, especially identifying their core military partner as India. So, in the region, India is the preferred partner for US in terms of both military and trade relations. This agreement ensures that in case of any war, any turbulence, any global supply chain disruption, India will make sure that the preferred partner will be US for all trade and defense exports. So, this is especially very concerning for Pakistan because in the context of regional peace, the United States has identified its partner institute, its partner country, which is India. This also is concerning for China as well, because China's Road and Belt initiative is around peaceful expansion of trade routes across the world. But this specific agreement is how US can actually make sure that defense requirements can be met in terms of any disruption in the world. This is also not just India. There are more than 30 countries which have signed this agreement with United States. But in South Asia, this is the first one which India has identified. This particular agreement also identifies how future regional cooperation and regional networks will be developed. So, if we look at Quad is something that is a cooperation between United States, Japan, India and Australia. Similar cooperation agreements will be emerging soon, which will identify United States and India's interest in the South Asian and especially in the Indian Ocean region. I think Pakistan needs to diversify its interest, especially in the defense context. I think the emerging partners should be Turkey, China, Russia and also to some extent Iran. This is the arc that is developing, which can be very efficient in terms of safeguarding the subcontinent or the South Asia from the European or the Western influence. I think it will be very challenging for India to make sure that this does not get out of hands. The cooperation is although between for civilian use of nuclear technology for energy, but and although this will give opportunity for Indian scientists and Indian technologies to be deployed in UAE, also to have more access to human resource deployment in the United Arab Emirates from India. I think on the nuclear side, it will be a first experience that India will be taking, and this is a very dangerous approach in terms of safety and security of the nuclear technology. So, I think this is something which needs to be looked very closely, because India does not have that sort of experience in deploying nuclear energy for civil use. I think the approach is something like the Bollywood is the soft power that India is using to reach out to the policymakers in the Middle East. Although they portray that the Arabs have less patience, less knowledge, less temperament for development and for globalization, but they do reach out to them for the economic and political and social gains. So, the reason is to glamorize what India can deliver and what Indians can add value to the whole system. But this approach will backfire sooner or later, when you will see that the Arabs will realize that Indians are taking advantage or basically demonizing their role and their actions as not very sophisticated. I think this is a typical reflection of an Indian hypocrisy. So, the Indian hypocrisy is that they say something else and their action depicts something else, and this is something which basically is the characteristics of the Indian foreign policy. And we have seen that multiple places and also at multiple times. So, this is a typical way of how India plays a friend's role with Iran while backstabbing it by giving the information to Israel. Signing the defense agreement or an aggressive defense agreement with Israel while claiming to be a peaceful nation globally, not acknowledging the atrocities of Israelis on the people of Palestine. Similarly, they go to Russia and then they go to Ukraine, saying both parties that we are your friends. So, I think the non-aligned approach is actually a hypocritical approach that India is pursuing and demonstrating as well.